How's it going, Will? How was your weekend, man?
Man, you know what? Very busy, incredibly busy getting what we need to get together, bro.
All right, hey everybody, welcome back once again to the Pop Culture Cafe. And I am Will Martell. We were having a little bit of a technical difficulty. So we had to get a chance to get that fixed. So
Running technical support right now.
yeah, so just bear with us. Clint's checking the mic. So there's a bunch of stuff going on like right now. You know, there is a tremendous amount that's happening in the world, and we were trying to cover some of that before we got interrupted. So what is it that we basically have to cover, because there's so much, man.
We were just talking about the Brady Bunch. A couple days ago, Will got a hold of me about. We don't know how we got this topic going, but Maureen McCormick, call me. I'll get you in touch with Will. How about that?
I love you, girl.
So it released on DVD is what it did.
Okay, before you continue, we are here live from Kava Cafe here in Dubuque. This is a great place. We shot Gino's Hitman here. We're planning to do a whole bunch of stuff here. The owners are absolutely great. The staff here is great. It's just a really cool, chilled out place. So if you're ever in Dubuque and you get a chance, come by Kava, get some of their very, very delicious teas and stuff like that that'll make you feel 100.
I don't drink tea.
So, that's all right. You want to drink this tea? Trust me, this shit's great, man. It's great.
So a couple movies I figure I'm going to review here real quick. I watched something on Betty Page the other day, and needless to say, there's a few women in this world that I would pretty much worship the fluids that came out of them. Needless to say that. So,
Oh man,
and Betty Page is one of them, the original pinup girl.
who said this? Who said this? High Will. Who that be? Who that is? I don't know who that is. I see Eddie. Eddie popped up. Nice intro. Thanks, man. I put that together. I actually put that together.
Kelly Gottschalk.
Oh, Kelly. Oh, yeah. Hi, Kel. How you doing? Yeah, I usually see Kelly at the gym all the time, and we stuff and whatnot. And yeah, I'll see you at the gym really, really soon, Kelly. Thank you.
So Betty Page, that basically just talk about her life and all that. Like Betty Page, Maria Brink, Tiffany Amber Tyson.
Right.
Those girls can do whatever they want. But anyway,
All right.
Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Okay.
Let's put it this way: it looks like something Dreamcatcher would put together.
Okay.
Yeah, it was horrible. Oh my god. Like,
Oh, it was horrible.
I wanted to take a spoon and gouge my fucking eyes out when I watched it.
Oh my God!
I watched
it
the
was
whole
that
thing.
bad, huh?
You could tell it wasn't Victor Salva, and the whole Victor Salva controversy. Yeah, whatever. He still produced Jeepers Creepers 1 through 3. He did Powder, Clown House. I mean, regardless of what he did, you know, the movies he did, you could definitely tell he had that certain style. Jeepers Creepers Reborn did not have that. I mean, it was just, it looked like...
It was basically an hour and a half of
my life I'll never get to get.
Okay, you'll never get it back. Okay, wow.
Yeah, it kind of like when I watch Halloween Ends, I'm like, man, I've been on a roll lately as of...
Eddie said he didn't think it was going to be good either.
I wouldn't waste your time, man. I'll just save your life right now. Keep however you watch movies. I would keep your $20 instead of buying it. Don't do it.
Okay, so okay, Eddie has a right to be like, you know, opinionated, and
right.
I'm just gonna say it right now. He's got a right to be opinionated on movies and things like that because Eddie and I came up together. Right. Eddie's a really, really great writer, and always was ever since we were back in school, man. I mean, he was great. He was always a poet.
Right. And I just saved him an hour and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because he's as bad as I am on story, and if I can't get people to get involved in the story, I just actually went over the other day. I was on a computer and I was putting our press releases out.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually gathering up every script that I've ever written and put it in one file that says one place. I actually, no problem, Eddie. Look, man. Look, I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. You were not only a great writer and a poet, man. It's like, but when we sat down and collaborated on something that could have gotten us $8 million at the time, you know, from New Line and whatnot, and those script release contracts. See, a lot of people don't know the story, you know. So one day I'll be able to sit up and explain it.
Or did he appreciate me saving the hour and a half of his life?
Oh, I think both.
Trust me, it was that. I was not.
Well, anyway, here's the thing. I pay a lot of attention to story, and now I pay more attention to story more than I've ever paid attention to it because there's so much garbage out here right now. I mean, and you wonder to yourself, how do people get these films? You know, how do they get these films made?
Oh yeah, we got.
Oh yeah, cheap plug
with the volume. Cheap plug. Check it out on the website. They'll be on there eventually.
Yep, they will. They will. Yep, be taking a picture of these. Get yourself one. All the cool kids wear it.
My dream of having one day have this down on Pawn Stars and look at Rick.
Check that out.
And they'd be
Director.
like, so how do you know this is originally his? Let me call a buddy down and maybe we talk price. And then I could come down and be like, yeah, I can confirm that's mine. Funny story.
Yeah, you got to get these when these go on sale on the website. You got to get you one because you know what? All the cool kids wear them now.
It's the only way to go. It's the only way to go.
Yep, go with the dragon. You can't go wrong. So, let's update them on the casting situation.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're casting for.
Yeah, I got flyers over there.
Yeah, you got the flyers over there. Okay.
I don't have my book bag on me, but you see them on the Facebook page. You'll see if you want a copy of it, you know, email or message us.
Get with us. Yeah,
I have the picture saved, and yeah, we can just go from there.
Okay, so we're casting for 2 films. One, the first film is Blind Faith, which is Clint's going to be making his big directorial debut with that, and then Cain Rose Up is going to be something that I'm going to do, and that's based on a story by Stephen King from the book called The Skeleton Crew that was basically made up of several short stories by Mr. Stephen King. So I had the honor of, you know, sometime back getting the chance to do that particular thing, but with COVID and things like that, I couldn't.
COVID really screwed a lot up.
It screwed up what I was intentionally going to do. But hey, better late than never. So, we're going to get that done, and we're doing it on February 18th down at the Carnegie Stout Carnegie Stout Library. I'm sorry, those are my peeps down there. Library here in Dubuque. And we're gonna be there. We're expecting, you know, a nice little turnout because we've been in we were over in Davenport a little while back. Then we were in Cedar Rapids, was it?
Cedar Rapids,
yeah.
Iowa City, and Coralville.
Yeah.
I think we're having more of a lockdown luck with Iowa City.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think Iowa City, if anybody from Iowa City is listening, you know, or watching this podcast, I would just like to say thank you, like in advance, because I know the people that we get, they're going to be coming from Iowa City. I got a feeling, because that was the first place we hit, and
I think a lot of people are going to be looking more on those pillars than they are anything else.
Yeah, I mean,
versus
you can't miss it.
Yeah, they're right there. Which, I mean, I'd love to go back up there and put a lot more and then cover more ground. In
We can do that too. I mean, because you know what? I mean, the time is fastly approaching. We're gonna have 2 back-to-back movies we're doing this summer, and we're planning on trying to do it like a double feature.
Yeah.
At one of the theaters here. So that's kind of our plan, but it's also depending, and I'm going to put this out there right now. It was suggested to me by Mary. It was suggested to me by Clint. It was suggested to me by a few other people, my sister, that we should have had a launch party for Dragon Whip. I mean, it needed the proper here we are party,
proper kickstart,
you know,
yeah.
right? It should have been launched properly, you know, cutting the ribbon and all that stuff. So eventually that's going to happen, but we're hoping
find that building.
Yeah, now we find a building, because right now we are currently looking for a building. So if people out there have information on how on a building for rent, you know, or even if reasonable to purchase or house, give us a shout out.
Give us a jingle.
Yeah,
because and this is what's keeping me on edge. It's like just having that home base that's gonna be the biggest thing there completely.
Yeah,
and
because right
it's
now
just the way it
currently we're basically, he's got equipment at his house, I got equipment at my house, and my place is getting way too small now. I was just talking about that last night. My place is getting way too small to house any more equipment. I think the last 2 pieces of equipment that I bought that I knew we were going to need was, I got that 48 inch slider, motorized slider that's going to be used for commercials and all of our other stuff. And then I had to get a tripod. I mean, a brand new tripod. And it, you know, like I said, between him and myself, and we got all this equipment, we're looking for a home base. So Key City said they would reach out and help out. So I'm looking for Key City to call back. I'm looking for the people at Dubuque to rally around this thing and go, hey, look, we want to get involved in this motion picture studio you're trying to build, so let's do it. But I'll put it out there right now. Clint and I discussed it. If Dubuque doesn't want to go along with the program, that's fine. You know, they don't want to explore what an opportunity this is going to be. Then that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on for an hour about my opinions, but we got only an hour show.
Yeah, I mean, we got an hour show. We're only a few minutes into it, so go for it, man.
Hey, man, you know, Dubuque wants to rally around somebody else's jockstrap. Hey, that's fine, but just when the other place fails, don't come over and be like, hey, you know, we always believe. No, it's that's the way it is. You know, it's business, and
Yeah,
you know, I'm getting a new set of eyes, and I'm just like, you know what, you know, a certain individual, the president of the UFC, Dana White, has been almost the blueprint. It's like, you know, you don't want to get over here. That's fine. You want to think if you think over there is going to get you to the promised land, I would smack you for fucking joining us. But just remember, don't come crying to us when that fails and you want over here. That's fine. You know, whatever.
Yeah, and you know what?
I mean,
Look, basically, it's like what have I told you the last couple of days? Get on the winning team.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not what you did in the past. It's not what you did 2 years ago. It's not what you did 5 years ago or anything. What have you done for me lately? That's what this business is all about. So I don't know and can't see how people here could still look back at that and go, oh, well, they're good enough, you know, and they get them, and then their disappointment, you know, they're disappointed in the service.
Yeah, it's a joke. And like I said, anybody's got an issue with that, you can feel free to message me. I'm only a message away. So, that's just the way it is. Next topic of conversation.
Yeah.
The Tennessee cop that got the train pulled on her.
Okay, the Tennessee cop that. Now I'm surprised at one thing, that this happened in Tennessee, of all places.
Yeah, because apparently they weren't all related.
Absolutely.
Because inbred get.
Yeah. I get it. See, what I'm surprised at is that there were. Okay, if you've seen this woman is a tiny woman, and then there's. Okay, anyhow, I'm going to just skip even saying that. But, yeah, apparently this happened, and there's been a big controversy over it. But also, something a few months ago happened here, too, at a well-known industrial factory that makes tractors. Okay, I'm going to fucking say it. John Deere had a controversial moment sort of like that. Mm-hmm. And I remember the day that it happened because a bunch of guys I used to work with had actually like came over to me when I was getting ready to get on my forklift. They're like, "Man, have you heard?" I'm like, "Heard what?" It's like there's some kind of sex scandal over at John Deere, and I'm like, "What happened?" It was like, well, apparently like this girl from OnlyFans actually had visited, and this dude invited her, and they got down. Let's just say that.
That's where that fucking meme came from.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know.
Yep.
But needless to say,
that happened.
There's probably one question everybody here watching, with the one person watching, you're probably asking yourself, did we date either one of them? No, we don't.
No.
They're not ex-girlfriends of ours.
No, absolutely.
They're not. Are they?
No,
They better
they're
not.
not. They're not.
I was gonna say.
No, they're not.
Because
It's all good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's all good.
Next topic. Let's see. Oh, we're doing record time here. Holy shit, I love it. All right. So I also recently watched something, which I told you. I was like, you have to watch this because it's. And I'm gonna be honest, 100% real with you. It's literally. It infuriated me after I watched it. I watched it a couple times.
Okay.
It's the Bob Ross documentary on Netflix.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
If you haven't watched yet, if you haven't, it's called Happy Accidents and Greed or something. It's on Netflix. Just type up Bob Ross and you'll see it. Dude, I would not support Bob Ross Incorporated for anything. I will not give them, if like somebody's life was on the line, I would not donate a fucking penny to them, because needless to say, none of his kid or his son hasn't received a penny per Bob's wishes. Jimmy Cox, his half brother, is pretty much the one that signed over the right to the Kowalskis, giving them power of everything over Bob Ross and the name and everything.
Boy.
And I'm like, you know what? They ripped off Bob Ross. Exactly. And Bob Ross is, he just seemed like a cool dude. And you watch this documentary and you see, and you're like, wow.
He had a nice inside voice.
Exactly. And he was like,
he's like Mr. Rogers.
They were interviewing people. They're like, yeah, like this lady's like, I can't paint. He's like, yes, you can. He's like, you can paint. Even he was on Regis and Kathy Lee. Yeah, Regis. And he was on Regis is like, hey, Bob, I'm painting. And it's like, he's like, everybody can do it. And I totally agree with that. It's like they ripped off Bob Ross, Jimmy Cox, and they show video of the deposition. His son is like, the lawyer says, are you aware that your uncle Jimmy Cox signed over the rights to the Kowalskis? He's like, no, I had no idea. And I would appreciate everybody in this world to not support Bob Ross Incorporated. Do what you can, boycott the hell out of that company, because you know what? That is an evil corporation. They did wrong to the family. I would suggest watching the documentary. The part where Steve went up to his dad's grave, I'll admit I got choked up and shed some tears, man, because, like, wow. It was just so, like, that documentary is so fucking powerful. It's like, you know.
Oh, Eddie says, I did like Dio. Dreamers Never Die. It was like Rainbow in the Dark. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, or
The Last in Line.
Yeah.
Love that song.
Yeah. Like, and they explained the people that this one guy, he's in charge of the school, whatever. He's like, there's these students, because he always signed Ross on the corner.
Right.
He says they had him sign Ross on the corner, even though they weren't Bob Ross. So he's like, the only people that are certified to answer if it's a Bob Ross actual painting is the Kowalskis, coincidentally. So the Kowalskis, you know, their biggest thing is they're known for suing people. Well, right fucking there.
Right there.
And, you know, the whole thing, like, it's just wrong. And the guy's like, he's from Germany or something. And he's like, it wasn't right. He's like, they were signing Bob Ross on the corner there without them, but like, how can they do? Man's passed away. So there's circulation of fake Bob Ross paintings everywhere.
Okay.
It's wrong. So I would suggest watching it, and just don't blame me if you get infuriated, because you will get pissed. On that note,
All right. So we're going to take this time out and we're going to go to Uncle Clint's corner. Right now,
we're looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah.
Sleep on the
So
couch. And he was in the bed.
we're gonna go in
calling me over,
right-
calling me over. I said, no, I'm not getting in bed with you. And he comes over, he says, well, if you don't get in bed with me right now and give me oral sex, I'm peeing on you. And my ass didn't get off the couch.
And so he peed on you.
Yeah.
So is she dating R. Kelly now, or this one's kind of weird?
You're not allowed to look at his friends.
To talk to his friends. Yes, because I might be hitting on them. He thinks I want to have sex with everybody.
I mean, really, judging from my experience, if a girl's saying hi to another dude in front of her boyfriend, chances are she's going to try to fuck him. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is just from my experience, and judging from the look of that chick, she doesn't look like a club hooch.
You have to wear sweatpants.
Yeah, if I go out without him, I can't wear jeans or anything that shows off my body. I have to wear sweatpants, t-shirt, and then when I get back from being out without him, I have to brush my teeth because he thinks I'm out giving somebody else oral sex.
Well, I mean, the most popular type of clothing for women is leggings. A lot of men get in trouble for that, and a lot of men really look closely at it when they wear leggings. So sweatpants doesn't leave much to the imagination.
Which doesn't make sense because we share a toothbrush.
Okay, I am very sorry. This may sound very wrong of me to say, but I don't care if I'm dating you or we're married. We've been married for 20 years. We're not sharing a toothbrush. That shit's just wrong. It is disgusting.
She lies all the time. I went on her Facebook 2 weeks ago. She had messages from another ex-boyfriend. When she was in a relationship with the one boyfriend, she was living a double life with another boyfriend for 2.5 years. And I jump on Facebook and I see messages sent. So I started looking into it, and she just deleted the of me.
Seriously, girl? Really? Oldest trick in the book. You're cheating on your boyfriend, you're using Facebook. Especially if you're messaging him. Delete your messages. I just don't get it. And that's the biggest problem with Facebook now. It's Messenger and That's why I always say the biggest problem of social media is Facebook messaging. People can cheat, they can do this, they can do that, but girl, delete your messages. It's not that hard.
Do it. I'm asking you. I make this show too.
Hey, you want to hear?
Hold on. I make this show too personal sometimes. I really do. I shouldn't do it, but I do it.
Steve, who are you kidding? You make the show for ratings and money. Simple as that. Bottom line, period. Your show.
All right, so we're gonna go into this next one.
I'll say we're back on.
Yeah.
A grave situation has just come up. Our operatives have discovered an arms deal between China and Russia that can put the entire world at risk.
If you are watching this, it means you are searching for answers to know who you are. I am Agent Raven Zenta of the Indian Intelligence Agency and someone who loves you very much.
Seven years ago, we sent out our best agent, Rowan Game, and his entire team to retrieve the briefcase. Agent Game never returned. When China and Russia find that briefcase, Red Dawn will not be just a movie. It will be a reality. I want Agent Game found.
How many people, how many devices, we're not sure. But we have just learned here at the Channel 9 newsroom that a federal response team has been sent in to neutralize the threat.
Take your time. Remember who you are.
And someone who loves you very much.
We have to get them before they do.
I know Kung Fu.
Let's save this bitch.
Right, and see if I understand this correctly. I'm supposed to be the key to saving the entire world and stopping Armageddon.
Pretty much, yes.
All right, welcome back once again to the Pop Culture Cafe. Nice.
I was looking at pictures of Betty Page. I was showing how amazing she looked.
Yeah. Yeah, what was she, the first pinup?
Yeah, very first pinup.
The very first
She
pinup.
was the representation of both good and evil, man. It was just like, there'll be another like Betty Page. Rest your soul there, woman.
Yeah. Well, anyhow.
She looked good naked.
Okay. All right, brother. All right.
Okay.
We got to discuss that later.
My thing is like that, the Betty Page hairstyle with the bangs and everything, I think that is just sexy as hell. I don't know why, man. But just on that note.
Okay, so okay, we are back right now with the Pop Culture Cafe, and there was something else, you know. And just so people don't forget, We are broadcasting here live from the Kava Cafe. If you are ever in Dubuque or you live here in Dubuque, stop by. They will hook you up with some very, very great beverages. So
Liquid refreshments.
Come through. Yes, come through. All right, so
Check mark.
all right,
Check mark.
so let's get into
Now if I'll plug the...
let's get into celebrity deaths.
I was going to plug 90s real quick.
Oh, 90s?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the 90s show?
Yeah, that 90s show.
Okay.
I liked it. Check it out. Watch it. Everybody returns except Hyde. But you know what? The story was great. I don't know if they're making a season 2. It was good. Check it out. Watch it. If you're a fan of 90s nostalgia, specifically...
if you're a fan
Beverly
of
Hills.
that 70s show, you'll be a bigger
Beverly
fan
Hills
of
90210
No,
when they did
yeah.
that. Oh, my God. Check it out. Try it.
All right.
I give it a couple thumbs up.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out later today, actually.
I liked it.
And what's that on?
Netflix.
Netflix?
Netflix, yep.
All right, I'm gonna check that out definitely. Yeah, because I love that 70s show. I think that there's a big universe for that 70s show. And heck, you know what? We're writers and stuff like that. We like get with the people over there and come up with something else. I mean, so it's
Eventually.
yeah.
You know, when somebody can
Yeah.
just pick around it down the road. and
Yeah,
kinda
when
see-
we got time to do it, because it's gonna be very
We're gonna have
very
a lot
busy.
on our plate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
gonna be
good.
very very busy from May till whatever time to get 2 films, 2 shorts done and stuff. So that's where we are right now. We also wanted to talk about there was something else, the Brady Bunch. We got cut off. We didn't have sound when we were talking about that. Okay, so the other day I ran across Maureen McCormick. Even at the age she is now, she is hot for days.
Smoking.
All right, you know what? If they said, okay, why did you watch the Brady Bunch? Now, see, at first when I was growing up, my sister watched the show because it was my sister and my cousins. So they watched the show.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the show, but I remember the time I did start watching the show.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That was made in the 60s, right?
No, actually, the Brady Bunch was made in the 70s.
So you watched it as it was on.
When I was a kid.
Wow.
When I was a kid.
I had to watch it in syndication, dude, on TBS.
Nah, dude. Let me
Wow.
tell you something. When I watched Brady Bunch, it was only one person I was watching for, and that was Maureen McCormick. Okay?
Marsha.
Period. Marsha. I mean, that's who I watched it for. So I dug a little deeper. Turned out Maureen McCormick was older than the rest of the kids on the show, and she suggested to the producers, because she was so tired of this, I guess she was tired of the innocence,
The
and it
bubble
wasn't
gum.
real life. The bubblegum pops. Yeah.
It's like TV. You know what I'm talking about, like the TV show, like where everything's
She was
solved in
tired.
a half hour, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? She was tired of it, so she went to... Now, this is absolutely 100% because it's written in her book. She said that she went to the producers and suggested to them that Mike and Carol become swingers. She suggested that.
Well,
She suggested that...
Barry Williams, Greg Brady would have loved that one.
No.
Rumor mill.
No, actually, see this finger here? See Barry Williams. Anyway, Barry Williams
Oh,
actually,
Lord.
yeah, Barry Williams. Now this is according to the Howard Stern show that Maureen appeared on, and it was it was done a little while. I think it was done in like 2006 or something like that.
Okay.
The interview, but she did state that her and Barry Williams was at his house in his room, but it didn't go further than, because she said she really wasn't attracted to him like that. So he got a finger involved, but that was it. That was it.
Oh, finger up or okay.
Yeah, finger. Let's just say
We might have
finger
kids.
inside.
We might have kids watching.
Yeah, that doesn't. Which they shouldn't. This is for grown
yeah,
folks.
they shouldn't. But so, like, I mean, Greg Brady Barry Williams, whoever, whatever you want to call him.
Barry was great, man.
At the time, at that specific time, he was the
he was
fucking
Johnny Bravo. Yeah, he was
Brad
the shit.
Pitt of the fucking world, man. At one time, but man,
I mean, I'm sure Greg got plenty of pie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got plenty.
Let's just say he got a lot of ass on him.
But my boy, I'm gonna tell you, my boy, Chris Knight, Pete was a man. Pete's a Mac dude. That dude is a Mac, man.
Yeah, I mean,
and everybody thought, oh, he was just a middle kid, man. That dude's a pimp.
No, like
that dude's a pimp, man.
When it comes to like the one that really pissed me off, and I don't like a lot of change, like show-wise. If I'm involved in the show, I fucking hate change. Can't stand it.
Yeah, right.
They brought in Cousin Oliver. Wanted to pull out my fucking hair.
Dude, that's when you knew it was the end of the series.
Yeah. They bring in other...
Yeah.
Or put Bobby on this other show, because there was that one episode where they had the other family about them, because that was supposed to be like a Brady spinoff.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I wanted to pull my fucking hair out.
Oh, man, I couldn't stand when Oliver came along. Now, nothing against the guy, because he seems like a nice guy, because I've seen some interviews with him and stuff like that.
But just the character-wise...
Yeah, the character...
He was just like that annoying little brother you wanted to, like, dunk his head in the toilet.
And see, he was cannon fodder for Cindy and Bobby.
Yeah.
He was to be fed to them as a little brother, and they were going to, treat him like crap.
I have to watch
teach him like
because I can't remember how he did the parents go away for a bit, or how did he get thrown into the mix? I'm just
well, it's their cousin, so I guess Carol's sister.
Okay.
Carol's sister had a kid, so Oliver was her son, and something happened with them, and he came to stay with them
like
for
they
the
went on
summer
vacation
or something. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, how the hell did he get put back in or put into the...
According to Maureen McCormick, I mean, check this out. Her and Eve Plum, okay, they might have made up for that new show with the twin brothers, Property Brothers, or whatever.
Oh, you're
the
talking
two twin dudes.
Brady Renovation.
Yeah.
That was that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So before that, they had Heat.
Yeah.
Because I told you about her jokingly saying that, because Howard Stern was like, oh yeah, did you kiss Eve Plum? Did you guys hang out? All that stuff. And she was like, yeah, right, we kissed and all that stuff. And she got pissed. Eve Plum got pissed at Maureen McCormick, and she said they didn't talk up until that point.
Well, it's kind of like Rick James with Charlie Murphy. I was so embarrassed. A little 4'9", doesn't even have a name. He's some kind of sign. Let it beat him in basketball. I was so ashamed of Charlie Murphy. I didn't talk to him for 2 years.
Hey, Rick, check this out, man. Prince was a bigger artist than you were. And now, look, Rick James was Rick James was my boy, okay?
But it's certain things like that that just don't make people talk for the longest times. And,
right.
And then they come back like nothing ever happened. So, and then the Brady Bunch, they had what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different spinoffs? Like we were actually just talking.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Now you guys are wondering why are we talking about the Brady Bunch? Well, this is the Pop Culture Cafe. That's what we talk about. We talk about pop culture, and you can't deny it. Although you might say, okay, well, the Brady Bunch was like white bread and all of that stuff, and it was just look. That's the way it was. But I'm gonna disclose to you that it was written. It was written in either Maureen McCormick's book, or it was written in that first edition of the Brady book, that there was an episode shot.
Oh, yeah.
There was an episode shot of Marsha or Jan, don't know which one, but it was one of them that brought home a black dude from the football team or the basketball team. It was something like that. And Sherwood Schwartz, the creator, they shot the entire episode. But somewhere along the line, the episode got scrapped. They didn't want to show it because at that time, just the idea of having a interracial mix in any way was just, they weren't having it. So they scrapped the episode. They scrapped it. That episode will never be seen because they scrapped it like right before they were trying to decide to air it.
Yeah. And bless him, we had another guy who played Peter Parker in the Spider-Man show back in the day. He played... Something suddenly just came up. Ouch, my nose, that guy. I can't remember the character's name, but he was in it. And a lot of people, like, I've had these idiots give me crap, like, oh, you watched the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, he was the guy that stole Greg's playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, people are like, oh, you watched the Brady Bunch. Yeah, fuck off, you don't like it. You know? Same thing with the Golden Girls. You don't like the Golden Girls?
Oh, the Golden Girls.
Like you.
Look, man, the Golden Girls
is
are great. I'm not going to even trip. I'm not going to trip. That was the ultimate 80s, 90s show.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't watch that with your grandmother or your mother, you have a problem. Because you don't like the Golden Girls, I'm not going to like you. We're not going to be, we're not going to get along. So, Blanche Devereaux, Rose Nyland, Sophia Petrillo. I mean, picture it. Sicily, 1970.
Man.
A beautiful peasant girl. Mom, will you stop with the peasant girl? What? Oh, man.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Look, I love those old shows.
Yeah.
But see, there was nothing like Three's Company.
Come and knock on our door.
Dude.
We've been waiting for you.
If it's the last thing I do, Dragon Whip will do a live stage play for Three's Company. I have been trying my best to look into this for a couple of years to see if it would be cool. Now I got a Three's Company script. Okay, I just bought one of the episodes. Okay, I would love to do that as a stage play. Put my own modern twist on what it would be like for this dude to pretend to live with two girls. You know how
once again, that's a 70s show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it was great. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to remember I'm trying to remember the.
That show almost
decade.
Lasted 10 years, man.
Yeah, because I especially remember the episode where the landlord's like,
"Oh, Miss Furley,
yeah, a Tinkerbell," and I'm like, oh my god,
oh my god. Oh,
Linda Blair. I heard about that.
Yeah, Linda Blair. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like Linda Blair liked everybody with the first name Rick because she dated Rick Springfield too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Oh, he wrote Cold Blooded about her. Really? Okay, I gotta check that out. Yeah. Thanks, Ed.
You know, that's the thing. It's like, you got old shows like that, like Three's Company. You got shit. I've been watching. You know, I've even been watching on one of the stream service I got, Martin. I've been watching that again. You know.
Oh, you've been watching Martin?
Oh, you damn right.
You ain't so bad without your friends.
Shanae, let me rock your world in living color. You know, I've been wanting to find, and if anybody could find a cheap, complete series, because I looked them up, and they go for
a living color.
Oh yeah, they go for a pretty good amount. But it's like, I mean, each season's a little different. But if somebody can find me the complete series, I'll hook you up with a tip, man. I mean, seriously, find it for me, get a good price.
Yeah, and living color. You know what? That was a groundbreaker. And we talk about sketches a lot.
Yeah.
And we wanted to start incorporating a lot of sketches, like
sketch I'm thinking about now.
We wanted to incorporate a lot of sketches on the show. I mean, we started talking about a Steve Wilkos sketch that Clint wrote. I wrote a sketch, and eventually we're going to do it. We're trying to figure out a way where we could actually start doing a show where we would go to the comedy club and we would get on stage and we'll go, okay, so if you'll look right there, here's the sketch we're going to do. So this is why we're trying to find a building.
Tim, I wonder if he's actually there today.
Huh?
I wonder if Tim's actually there tonight.
Might be.
I might have to
make an inquiry.
I might have to go talk to him.
Okay. What did Eddie say here? Okay, Eddie says, folks are in denial. I remember having to kill a girl's fantasy when I told her Grease was really only about Danny wanting it. Yup, that's what it was. Grease, that whole movie was Danny trying to bang.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Grease till a couple years ago.
That's okay. That's okay. But that's what that whole movie was about. That whole movie was about the pink ladies and the T-birds and stuff like that trying to hook up. That's all it was about.
Pretty much.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you. In its purest form, that's what Grease was. Something else I wanted to.
I'm actually having a brain myself right now. I was like, I know we're talking about something else, but
no.
I cannot.
Okay, nice little thing.
Make sure you buy Dragon. Can you hear people?
Back now. Okay. Contact me at dragonwhipent@gmail.com for more information on how to get yourself one of these.
You know, even there it is.
Yeah, look at that.
There it is. When
Dragon Whip.
When
right there.
This debuts at the theater, we might even auction this off for $100 to starting. I don't know why. It'd be cool to own a little piece of memorabilia.
Oh my God.
But
yeah, and there it is.
And this is a limited edition clothing line because we're supposed to originally
Dragons Never Die.
It's supposed to have Dragons Never Die, but it's Dragon.
Yeah.
So this is a tribute to the 1970s Kung Fu movies.
Dragon Never Die. There you go.
Buy yours today.
You bastard. Rice cakes for father.
Want to fight? You know how to. I know Kung Fu. I just had an idea.
Dude, Eddie and I, man, I'm going to just tell you something, man. Dude, Eddie and I were just, we were just ridiculous with the Kung Fu movies, man. I had watched probably like 100 or more, before I met him. And then afterwards, we were watching this stuff all the time, and all that stuff. It was, dude, there's nothing like those movies because basically you can learn a lesson from it.
Right.
First off, they only film those movies like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or like a week shooting schedule or something like that. It was basically just a bunch of pick up and go. People are in people are in the field fighting. Those war scenes, man. Where they all have swords and all of that. Those were very, very hard to shoot.
Yeah.
Which those battle scenes, they're very hard to shoot anyway. But yeah, I had always wanted to do one of those classic kung fu movies. But something I was intrigued about the other day was they were talking about Sam Jackson coming back as Mace Windu.
Never seen that.
Yeah. So, hey, did you guys watch the film?
No, I've never seen that.
The Villainous? No, I've never seen the film. Definitely check it out. Send me a link for it. Or where I can find it. I'll link it out. Opinion on it. Yeah, movies basically done by like the local theaters. The local theaters actually used to do all of the voiceovers for these movies that used to come in. They used to get these movies and they would go, "Wow, I don't understand Cantonese." So what they did was they were overdub the movies. Yeah. So a lot of the sequences where it's like, they would have to interpret it what the story was about because they didn't know.
Indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, and they didn't know. They didn't know what the story was, so they made their own story up to kind of sync with what was on screen. That's how they did it.
Right.
But the local theater owners here in the U.S. used to get those movies, and they can get them dirt cheap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They can get them dirt cheap, and then there was a deal where if any American theater got these movies, They got these movies for practically nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
practically nothing.
And, Enter the Game of Death. It's the only reason I really watched it was because you said Bolo Young was in it. I'm like, well, if it's Bolo Young, I have to watch it. I have to watch it.
Okay, Ed, I want you to jump in here because you and I watched Enter the Game of Death numerous times together. I'm waiting for his opinion on this. I had Clint actually watch Enter the Game of Death because the legendary Steve James was in the movie. And many of you know him as Kung Fu Joe from I'ma Get You Sucker. You know him
with Kung Fu Joe?
Yeah. You know him from Johnny B. Good. Oh, he's cracking up. Okay, I found out that Steve James was in this movie, man, and stuff because it was on his list of credits. So I went and looked, and lo and behold, Steve James is in Enter the Game of Death with Bolo. He's watching the intro. He's watching the intro.
Like I said, the only reason I watched it was because of Bolo Young, man.
Anytime superstarring Bruce Lee, not Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee. He looked like a guy we used to go to school with named Raymond Johnson. He looked like Raymond, man.
I don't know what was worse, the movie or just the intro. I don't know.
No, the intro and the movie was bad.
But what was worse? I mean, that's what I'm trying to decide. It's like,
no. Okay, you gotta understand. Like at the time, at the time, there was after Bruce died, after he died, there was an uprising. There was an uprising in these Bruce Lee imitation movies, and these movies are so bad.
I noticed that too.
That they are actually watchable. Yeah, all of this and all of this. I mean, if you if you were a guy that can kick or punch or do any of that, guess what? You had a job. If you can look like Bruce from the side, okay, which is, there was an interview, superstarring. So, this guy named Ho Chung Dao, that was one of the leading Bruce Lee imitators. They call him Bruce Lee. He actually was in an interview, and this interview is on YouTube, and he's like, well, in 1973, Mr. Bruce Lee, he died. Right. Okay, and then somebody from a production studio came over, and they said, we heard you can kick, you can punch, and he was a gymnast. Right. Yeah. So he told him, oh, well, you look like Bruce Lee from this side, and stuff. Okay, you're hired. And they hired him to do all these movies, but around the time, like, 84 came along, okay, because Golden Harvest actually released, after that 1979 debacle Game of Death, they ended up releasing Game of Death Part 2, which was, which I would say, like Game of Death Part 2 was really actually decent. Because they killed off Bruce Lee's character, and then they brought his brother Bobby, along and stuff, and then they made Bobby the star. He was the star of the movie after the character of Billy Loeb dies. So I liked it because I guess Golden Harvest, like I said, was behind it, and that's who was behind all of Bruce Lee's films, Golden Harvest. So those were pretty, that one was watchable because they had a bunch of stuff from Enter the Dragon that they never showed in this movie. They had a bunch of the cut scenes from Enter the Dragon in this movie, but yeah, I would say, you know, speaking of martial arts films, I mean, and stuff, we happen to get something from you know, somebody that we're looking at. Oh, wait a minute. The false cuts of Bruce Lee into the film, yep, are just ridiculous. However, there are some future stars in the film. Yep. Later Kung Fu Hustle. Yep. Yuen Wah. Yep. He was from one of the Seven Fortunes. Jackie's Seven Fortunes. Yep. Dragons Forever. Right. Steve James, of course. American Ninja. I'm gonna get you sucker. Yep. Yeah. So it was a bunch of future. It was a bunch of future stars in Enter the Game of Death. No doubt. No doubt at all. I agree with that 100%. It was a lot of future stars in that. I mean, but Steve James, you know, I mean, I still have a problem with American Ninja. Mm-hmm. Now, at some point, and I'm putting this out there right now, I'm going to reboot that. Because, see, Canon doesn't have a copyright over that. Right. Canon closed. So if I wanted to remake, if I wanted to do an updated version, a remake, or shoot, we could shoot that right here in Dubuque. Yeah. If I wanted to do an American Ninja movie, I could actually do it. Man. Because the copyright is not on it.
I mean, I don't know, just what, like, when I watched The Game of Death, I'm like, it was pretty much, for me, it was just...
However, the film will get you high just watching it. Yeah, it will.
When I watch it and the scene I was put together, I just like, wow, like, this is... Then I watched Enter the Game of Death, I'm like, oh, okay, well...
Dude, it was just... Okay, it was just like the late Brandon Lee said. Yeah. The late Brandon Lee actually stated, he said, you know... He said the action is unparalleled. He said the action is unparalleled to anything in the United States. He said, but the stories, however, look, if you can't get me to care about your characters and stuff, I'm not interested. Right. I totally agree with this because he said, if I can't get a decent story, give me something. Give me some great action at least.
I always like to see the bad guys, you know, take a look at how they oversee everything. I'm like, the villains. You know, there was times like I watched and I'm like, oh, the villains are a lot cooler than the heroes.
Right,
so
right.
Like, all right. And that's why I always wanted to be a villain in an action movie. I'm like these guys are. This guy's actually
no. You know what? Villains. I mean, now that we get on that subject, villains are the most fun to play. I loved playing a heel when I was wrestling, man, in the ring. I loved it. I hate it when a promoter is like, okay, you're going to be a babyface. You know, you're going to be a babyface in this match, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I'm getting over like Rover as a heel.
Yeah.
Why am I?
That's
why am I
like
even
never
dealing with that?
Go to one company, be a heel, and go to a different company, be a babyface. That shit just don't work, you know. And
practical fighting, martial arts with a good story will blow any audience away. It's true. It's true. This is what I've been screaming for years, man. For years. Give me a good story. If you're gonna have a good action story, it's just like with that movie that movie I lent you. What was that? Shoot.
Which one?
With Christopher Lloyd in it.
Nobody.
Yeah, Nobody. Nobody was great.
Except Christopher Lloyd. Anything he's in is just
he's the GOAT. Yeah. Christopher Lloyd's the GOAT.
Especially where he's sitting there and he shoots the one dude in the retirement home, the practice room. Everything all right? Everything's fine. Boom. Then he leaves. It's like nothing better, man. Christopher Lloyd. Trails to you, man.
And I can't think of the guy's name from Breaking Bad. He was a lawyer.
Saul.
Yeah, Saul. The guy from Better Call Saul was a star of the movie. And I bought this movie about 7 or 8 months ago.
Brian Odenkirk?
Yeah, Brian Odenkirk. Yeah. Brian Odenkirk, to me, right now, is one of the best actors out there because the guy is so versatile. Right. I mean, the guy could play a good guy. He could play a bad guy. Him in Breaking Bad playing the lawyer, the crooked lawyer.
Right.
He was great in that. You'll like them in Nobody. So if you guys haven't seen Nobody, watch it. It's good.
And because I did start on a later, I did start Breaking Bad, but the individual I was dating at the time, she started the thing and was just complaining about it. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I throw the towel in.
No.
I was like,
no. Now that you're alone, watch Breaking Bad. It is a great show.
You just have to remind me I'm alone, don't you?
No,
you fucker.
Damn.
Is it my 3 time a day masturbating habit? Is that what gets you?
Hey, man. I told you this show's for grown folks, so these are the conversations we have.
Yes, and the sad part is, there's worse conversations we've had. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I've stayed away from the strip club for over a month now, so thank you.
He's a month sober now, staying away from the strip club. Check it out. It'll be all right, Uncle Clint.
Because I remember I thought he was going to jump out the fucking car the one day when we were talking. I was telling him the story about, I brought up the story about tuna again.
Oh, God, no.
I'm taking you to Cedar Rapids, dude. I'll save $100, lap dance, be like, this one's for you.
No, man, no!
I'm going to pull the greatest prank in history.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, you're going to pull the biggest rib in history. Oh, my God.
Because this girl... Needless to say, that's why we call our tuna.
Who's cooking fish? Okay, what does that say? It works when you write from a character, and allow an anti-hero to just follow what he thinks is right. A hero is just a character with a different moral perspective. Lex Luthor would be a hero if Superman did something evil. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, and just the way, things just turn around. Like, people root for the fucking bad guys, and that just, like I said, just goes without saying, but it's like,
point.
Like Abby from The Last of Us.
Right.
You felt bad, and spoiler, The Last of Us, with this past, last week, the first episode dropped. I liked it. I was looking forward to the show. I'm a huge fan of the game. But with Abby, they're already talking about bringing her in for season 2.
Okay.
So, because in part 2 of the game, and this is spoiler alert, she kills Joel. But Ellie was so pissed, she set out for revenge. And he goes through this journey, but then you can actually play as Abby.
Okay.
And then you actually feel bad for Abby. You're like, oh, wow, I don't want her to die, But at the end of the game, if you haven't played the game, Ellie does not kill Abby. She beats the fuck out of her, but doesn't kill her because that's the way Joel taught her. Like, hey, we don't kill just because, for bloodlust or revenge or any of that. It's a, kind of a moral,
right,
moral conversation. But yeah, I mean, Last of Us Abby, which people say that they found the Abby for season 2. Well, they need to cast it perfect because if they don't, I'm going to be the most pissed off motherfucker you're going to meet. I will not be happy.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna. That's definitely on a list of shows that I have to watch.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
You'll like it, and the girl sounds exactly like, because she's British now. She played on Game of Thrones, but she sounded just like Ellie from the game. That's why I'm like,
who's the girl in it from the Game of Thrones?
Show you here in a minute.
Oh man,
her name is Bella Ramsey. She got crushed by that giant in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Okay.
Because she got picked up and And Pedro Pascal plays Joel.
Oh yeah, dude from Mandalorian.
Yes, and he was fighting what's his face, and he got his eyes sunk in, and that was his death scene. So I'm like, the cast is good. The cast is very good.
Oh, so he gets killed off?
He gets killed off in parts in the second game.
Oh, in the second game.
Yeah.
Okay, so
spoiler alert. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
well, if they're going anything like the game, which they've been known,
I'm hoping they do because, the only thing here's the difference between the game and the show, first episode so far is that they really went in depth with what happened really like what was she doing while Joel was at work and this and that. Like that's the only real difference between that and the game is because Joel just came home in the game and chaos ensued after she ended up, going back to Joel's house, watching the movie, and just like in the game, and that's when chaos ensued, and that was it. Yeah, I mean, Last of Us, check it out, HBO.
All right, so there was something else too. Okay, everybody should know that Night of the Living Dead is public domain.
Yep.
What does that mean exactly? Now, before MGM buys, because they're planning on buying Night of the Living Dead, if there's anybody that wanted to shoot their own version of Night of the Living Dead, you can actually do it. You can actually do it.
That's great game and a good game and great series. Yeah, I mean, they're both just great. But like, Night of the Living Dead, that's my go-to Halloween movie every year.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Now, I'm just saying that if you wanted to shoot it, if you wanted to shoot your own version of Night of the Living Dead, you can do it.
Yeah. And it would be a great nod to George, be like, hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, you know what? And I think it should happen before MGM buys it, because if MGM buys the rights to it, you know what they're going to do. They're going to just beat that dead horse to death.
Yeah. And it scares me to know what they could do with it.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's like, fuck. What could they, what would they, how far would they go? Kind of like, that 90s show. I mean, the only thing is they put this kid in there who he comes out to Kitty. It's like, and people I've seen were already complaining about that. I'm like, get over it. I mean, it's the way they're going to write it. It's just the way it is.
Hey, look, I mean, and you know what? Those people got the right to write that series any way they want to write it. Just like the content that we put out and stuff. Yes, it's all inclusive, but don't think for a minute we're putting a person in this because of their gender, their race, or whatever it is. I mean, and that's what you don't do, because then you start creating a problem when that happens.
Yeah. And then people will try to blacklist you, and it's like, whatever, it's just...
Oh, yeah, well, what do they call it now? Cancel?
Cancel, I think they're kind of on their way out the door, to be honest with you.
Thank God.
I think, like, in my opinion.
Yeah, thank God they are. Thank God. Thank God they are. Okay, so we're going to wrap up here by saying that we will be back, and we will, and possibly, by that time, we will be moved in a place, hopefully where we'll have a studio to go into and things like that.
And have like
to do this
massive, great internet, and this. I mean, it's just that like I said. I mean, I'm just counting the days till we get into a place, and it's just
because right now we're just shotgunning it pretty much. Anywhere we go, we're carrying the equipment and stuff like that. Okay,
roll, guys. I love the show.
Oh, the scenes inspired for John Wick 2. Okay. Thanks, Ed. Man. Thanks for following the show, man. Stuff like that, man.
I mean, we're trying to get out. I mean, plus too, we get a building, we can have a better itinerary schedule.
Schedule.
For the shows instead of doing this. But I think we've done
pretty well, so I'm not tripping about that. We do pretty good, man.
Yeah, then we can actually like get on the right schedule and everything. But I mean,
but definitely we are going to be back next week.
There's a 2 week.
2 weeks. Oh, we do bi-weekly. Yeah. Okay, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
We forget.
Yeah, we forget because we got a lot going on.
Just remember, I'm a month sober from the strip club, so let's just let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yes, and let's do everything we can to help Uncle Clint battle his addiction to the strip clubs.
I mean, it's that's just the way. I mean, let's be real. I mean, is it itching? Yeah, but
He ready to make it rain, ladies. He's ready to make it rain.
I still want that little dollar shooting gun. What I want. That's what I want.
That's all right. We'll find one. All right. We are going to take you out with a project that is getting ready to be casted for, and that is Blind Faith. Okay. So, this is Will Martell from the Pop Culture Cafe with my boy, Clint Heiberger. We will see you guys in 2. But until then, enjoy this. Deuces.
Throughout the centuries, since time began, every human being has had a wish, a desire. I can make it happen. What do I charge? What is the price? Simple. Your soul.
I'm a dead man walking, hell's at my door. I'm a shadow of the man I was before. I'm a dead man walking, before I die, I'll take every soul.
How's it going, Will? How was your weekend, man?
Man, you know what? Very busy, incredibly busy getting what we need to get together, bro.